Hey everybody, it is Deluxe. Just double checking my feed here. We are good to go. We're playing a lot of things today. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just having a lot of fun. It's Halloween. I got my little decor around. We got all kinds of custom stuff going on today. I'm a little bit early today just because I thought I was going to have tech issues and I didn't. There you go. When you're ready, it doesn't show up. Sure, Razman Nimchimsky joining me today. So I'm going to play a few decks today, just kind of a hodgepodge. First one I want to try, though, is one I've been having a lot of fun with, SuperStorm. And kind of like last week, I haven't been doing too well with it, but sometimes when it wins, it really wins. So we've got 4 crevice, 2 mountains, 4 vents, and 4 swamps to round out our mana curve. Now, I was going with like the peat bog and the red one that ditches for 2, and felt a little too all in for me, because this deck can wait around a lot because of Weather the Storm having 4 copies main and such. So thank you for that, Nimchimsky. Then we got 4 of the expensive Lotus Petal. Actually, let me jump over to the Tiny room, and we'll see if we can't just get a game going. Because usually sometimes these things take long enough that it's worth just doing it like this. All right. I don't know why this is acting up here. We'll go from here, go like this. I thought we were good to go. All right, and now I'll go back to the deck talk. Hiya! Here we go. So anyway, yeah, we've got all kinds of little goodies in this thing. The kill combo is the Priest with the Weather the Storm. I actually have an old school Feldon's Cane and 2 on the sideboard because this thing gets through so many cards because of Galvanic Relay. We got rituals. And, you know, it's Halloween. Got to have rituals, right? Rituals are Halloween. More on that later. We're going to say no to going first. We will draw. We'll keep this hand. Played Magic. AZN2K2. All right. Thank you for the sub, my friend. All righty. So we'll keep this. No matter how quickly I click, I missed the initial description. Ah, sorry. That's what YouTube's for, right? About that later. Before I forget, apologies again. I'm so busy this next week. I'm not going to have time for the show next week. I'm actually going to be working straight through the weekend. So this time next week, I will be crunching and sweating and doing all kinds of editing. But after that, I should be good to go. It's a rare weekend workology. So yeah. Oh, played Magic with the sub. My goodness, got all kinds of love. Thank you for that. Yeah, we got my little. Found this way up in Northern California in the middle of nowhere. My mom bought it for me. We were out at a pumpkin patch, and I just loved how old school it looked. So it usually supports me during the show. Well, I guess we'll just play this out, and we'll just wait around. We've got a few moves we can pull off here, but I'd really like to hit another land or 3. Hey, Snake Eyes MTG. You said no going first. That's like 8 rack in Modern. Yeah, well, with a combo, we're trying to draw everything we can here. Ooh, look at this. Interesting. I think we've got plenty of time from what we see here so far, but we're going to be playing a variety of decks here. This isn't my very fave, and I piloted about, I don't know, 75% or so. Could definitely be better. Let me, I guess we could kind of go for it here. Let's try this out. We'll play this. We'll get it for black. Keeping a very close eye on our mana base here. Yeah, I guess we could do this. Boink. Hopefully we draw into something good. There's something good. We'll do this. Calling red, or maybe red. We already have red, so let's go red, black. And we could do this to that, or we could do this here to this. We'll just play it even here. Go like this. Keep it simple. I like basics in this list a lot just because of the, like I said, kind of the all-in atmosphere. And it usually gets you enough time with the Weather the Storm being able to keep you ahead of it. So, yeah. My son's waiting for his Modern card. Speaking of that, Snake Eyes MTG. He's chomping at the bit every time the mailman shows up. So I've got all kinds of little goodies in my sideboard for matchups that kill stuff, but sometimes it's never enough, which is why we run the Feldon's Cane. Alrighty. We could go boom, boom, boom. I think we're going to do that. Let's rock like this. Actually, I'll pop this right now for a black because I want to get threshold. Boink. Okay, let's see if we draw something good. Draw me something good, please. Not a fun deck to play on a stream, I tell you that. I've got to concentrate a lot, and Mr. Chatterbox here can get pretty screwed up. Hello. What are we doing here? Sometimes when you start going off, some people just concede too, but it catches enough people off guard. It's pretty cool. What is going on here? Alrighty, let's see. We've got rituals for days. Can I do anything with the colors after that, though? Yeah, we can, because we've got the Chromatic Star. So just got to be careful what mana you're using and when, right? Bonk. You want to save that weather for the last move, because usually it's nice to get two of them, because sometimes, you know, they go crazy and try to zap everything while you're hanging out. We'll do this to here. 13 mana ain't so bad. All right, we'll ritual out. We'll do this. Sure, I've got plenty of mana to mess around here. Hey, I said this. Let's go. Hiya. All right, cool. We've got two Weather the Storms, but we've only got the one thing here, so we have got to be a wee bit careful. We'll rock like this. Yeah, and I can pull that off for red, and we'll go green, green, ladies and gentlemen. Must be careful with green, green. We'll play this here. I like this for relay. It seems a little too old school for some of you, but it's pretty awesome. All right, we'll say, well, I'll just keep the theme on board here. We'll say green here. Nice things to tell us about your long Halloween party last weekend. Oh, yeah, thank you for that. Hold on. Don't get me in the middle of a storm count, but I appreciate it. I'll try to get to that in a minute. Okay, let's draw our card. Oh, boy. I think we just got the win here if we go crazy. Let's do this to... Well, we have to pay this. We'll go like this. Now here, I want to go green, green. Bonk, bonk. Oh, boy. This just got really ugly. We'll play the Blight-Priest. We'll play another Blight-Priest. And we will weather the storm. Careful to click where we click here. Let's just see if we can have them buy into a spell here. Oh, I'm happy at one right out of the gates like that, but hey. Apologies for the slurp. Okay, I think not sure what our opponent's on. Maybe I just had a really slow rollout hand there. So my sideboard, I've got all kinds of little dillios. I don't think we're going to be needing many of them. It's kind of a toolbox. With a deck like this, you got to be careful. You can't really do too much as far as bringing in too many cards. I'm going to get rid of Duress, just one of them, and keep in one Unearth. And I don't like the fourth copy of Blight-Priest unless I'm going up against like super removal and such, but I'm just going to keep it like this here. I'll go like that. Thank you, Snake Eyes. I appreciate it. It won't happen again, I tell you. It's a nerve-wracking deck to play live. I don't know why I'm torturing myself. I usually got to be like, you know, a little check piece of paper and stuff like that, but I tell you, Storm isn't dead. I'm always talking about how deluxe it is, so keep. But yeah, it's a pretty neat little win. The neatest thing about this list, though, is that it just naturally has staying power. Most Storm decks, you've got to kind of, all right, I'm going. I can't live another turn. And that happens, obviously, a lot here. But for Weather the Storm's main, it gets pretty obscene. You know, you can be at like 4 or 5 life, and all of a sudden you're at 60, and you've reset everything, and you draw your hand. And when you Galvanic Relay too often, that's why I've got Feldon's Cane main, and I've got 2 in the sideboard. Very important. We don't even care about that Prismatic Strands, as we're all about loss of life. I actually did attack for the win the other night, but it's only because Marauder went off. You'd have to play at least one on Unearth, Shiraz. Yeah, I don't think Petal's ever going to do it. It's just a resource to just bump ahead. It's like banning a Dark Ritual or something, right? All right. Again, we have plenty of time, so excuse me, going to lead out with the star. And we've had a little heat wave here, which is really frustrating, but made for some super cool fog last night. So yeah, I went up to Northern California. Here, I was not going to talk about this until I was playing an easier deck. And up to the woods near Lake Tahoe, where my buddies all get together and Almost everybody showed up this year. It was cool. He read from this old vampire book, and while reading a certain dark ritual, all this blood shot over his face. Like from the book, he had some little gimmick in there that shot up a bunch of blood, and then he went crazy and attacked everybody, and good times ensued. And then it started raining, and so we were all huddled underneath this little thing with a gigantic bonfire. So the fire actually naturally kind of acted like a sort of a Umbra, to be really geeky, but a little umbrella and such. So yeah, apologies for the petals to those of the penny pinching persuasion. I mean, we're all paupers, right? That is kind of how we roll. We could go black into that, into that, into that, into that. I'm going to wait another turn. Should I? Let's try this. I'll rock here. I'll go red on this. He's like, really? I just want to do this to hit a land, mostly, you know. Sure, we'll just draw into some cards here. Boink. I'll say black and red. Alrighty. Well, that's kind of frustrating. Guess we could do here to here. Give us a land, please. Let's go. Okay, this is getting maddening. Let's do... Oh, we're not really after storm. Cancel that. Let me do another... while I can, I like to sign in blood, so... There we go. Okay, now we've got some good staying power here, folks. Woo! We'll do this. Remember what I said? I lied. Alright, let's pull this here. Boom. And we'll do a ritual, 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 ritual. We'll draw some cards here. Boop. Arrow. Boy, it'd be cool if we had our dude in the yard, right? But we don't. We'll go here and here. And we'll say green and red. Oh my gosh. Does this deck love me today or what? What's going on here? Okay, I guess I'll just cast this. And now we can do this. This is ridiculous. Might as well do this, right? I'll say green. Bonk. Sure. And we'll relay. As if it wasn't enough. Bum, 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 bum. I don't even know what we're drawing. I should probably be paying attention here. So yeah, this list is pretty sweet when it works. Believe me, there's been plenty of games when I'm, I guess, a little magically under the weather. You're just like looking at things going, huh? I mean, we don't have the double decker out here today, but even though we're not going to kill them, we're going to stay alive plenty long enough and do it all again next turn if you look at our exiles on there. One of the problem cards, actually, is Weather the Storm. Against us, I mean. Sometimes they can get up so high, it's like, hey, wait a minute, and I'm at like 1 minute. No hat, please. Thank you for that. Stompy Wire in the house. Missed you last weekend. Good to see you back. Oh, yeah, Stompy Wire. And apologies, I'm going to be gone next week, too. It's like the first time ever I'm going to miss 2 shows in like a month-long period, but thankfully I have a lot of work, so there's that. But hey, if anything needs a little reprieve, it's probably Halloween, as much as all out as I go, right? So we've got this, and we've got answers for Journey to Nowhere, but for the most part, it's usually not worth diluting our list. Reclaim, Apostle's Blessing, we've got the enchantment switcheroony. And outside of some removal and such, let's not be staking ourselves. If this was a harder matchup, I'd be sweating a little bit more, but sometimes these little, just turn them sideways and attack, like, what would you call it? An honest deck, right? Trying to do damage the old-fashioned way. But, you know, last night I had a little thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to show off this list because I've been playing it for a while, and I crashed and burned really hard in the Pauper Classic Tuesday with it. But I think that was more of the libation of my choosing at that point. Let me go here. Oh, boy, we got... Now you can see why I run Feldon's Cane and Basics. I really like Basics in this list. I dig it. In fact, I'm not even going to... I just want stuff now. You know what I'm talking about? All right, let's do this, this, and this. I don't think we're going to need to go too crazy with that. We'll pull this off. Yeah, we just win here. I mean, to the point where I should probably just pitch this, right? I'll just do this. Boop. We'll say Ritual. Come on, get big, man. I used to say that in Super Mario Brothers. I was like, get big. My brother used to always tease me about that. We'll do here with Ritual. Sure, we'll gain some life. We'll go with red. Bonk. Here we go. And gotta be careful. We've only got 23 cards left, so you want to be a little... I guess we'll do this now, because we haven't drawn too many things here. And who knows, they might have a turn, right? Duress is kind of a catch-all. I experimented with 4 of them, and in the end I didn't like where that was going, so there you go. We'll do this. We'll do this. I could probably zap them for that, you know what I'm saying? Did I just totally screwed up. You see that? I didn't leave green open. What an idiot. Well, maybe I can pull it off. Maybe my deck will forgive me. Let's see. There we go. It forgave me. Sometimes your deck helps you out. Boop, boop. But that's what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here being a chatterbox, and I should have played that from there, but you know, we win regardless. So that's my SuperStorm list. It's not always that crazy effective, but often it is. I'm going to go over the list here, and then I'm going to relax because it's Halloween, and I want to play something I want to play. Well, I always like to play this, but like I said, I got to have like kind of a notepad and stuff. And we didn't really have time to go over this list over the chat there. But who doesn't like Feldon's Cane, right? I mean, this is just like old school awesomeness. And believe it or not, as we saw there, sometimes you got to pay very close attention to how many cards you have left because of Galvanic Relay. And so sometimes you want to play this prematurely. You can go find that cane. Be careful, however. You notice we don't really have any shuffle effects in this list. So if you're mulliganing against an opponent where you need the cane, unfortunately, it's usually a bad play to throw the cane on the bottom because you're never going to see it until it's too late. Unless you just top deck it and you time it perfectly and you get out your calculator and you do all these other things. Anyway, I got to write this down. We'll call that Boros. WW. And here we go. Okay, so initially this had 1 less land for a total of 17 like first turn plays with the Petal. And it was running like the Peat Bog, if you want to bring that up in chat, or there's the red one and the black one. You comes into play tapped, sacrifice it, you can do it twice, or you take a counter off of it, you can do it twice, and it gives you double red or double black. I didn't like those, and I even messed around with land grant with a few forests, but I just found I didn't need it. This vent really comes in handy. The blue is irrelevant here. We're just using it to trip a chromatic star or whatnot. And the geothermal crevice is how it's written, but I know Bear Grylls and a lot of people of the northern persuasion like to say crevasse, right? Is that how you say it, Shirazamon? I can't quite. Orange Sushi has some technical issues. Oh, bummer. Well, of all the people too, she's like the Halloween fan just like me. So initially too, I also had 4 Marauders, and drawing one of these early is great because it keeps you in the game and keeps you alive. Drawing one of these early, not so much. It's kind of a mana hog, and I found 3's enough. If I'm going up against super removal, I've got one on the sideboard if you look closely. So Galvanic Relay is your super draw. We've got this for draw. We've got all kinds of rituals. I mean, nothing says ritual like Halloween, right? Dark rituals and pedestals and things like that, and the Night's Whisper. So I was like, this is kind of on theme, so that's why I wanted to play it here first. Sign in Blood. And then obviously Weather the Storm against everything but the next deck we're going to play, Infect. Keeps you alive against, and then Manamorphose, our little saving grace, and gets you out of a jam, as we just saw last game. I'm sure we still would have won that one, but I was too busy chatting, and it kind of illustrates my point. This is a tougher deck to play, not stream friendly. So on the side, I've got Apostle's Blessing. Honestly, I've never brought this in. It's just there as a theory. Mesmeric Fiend, ditto. Usually Duress comes in. There's just not much fat to trim off of this, right? To Duress, I do bring in gut shots, often leaving out maybe 1 or 2 sign-in bloods, always favoring the Whisper because of the easier mana cost. But, against fairies and stuff, we've got a low enough curve. We don't want Spellstutter ruining our day. 1 Return to Nature, just kind of a catch-all. Never brought it in. Never brought in Reclaim. Have brought in both Feldon's Canes. I've gone up against some mill lists and some control lists that are just counter, counter, counter. And you build. You have tons of time because you're just gaining life and they're not really attacking you. And you're relaying and they're not doing anything about that. You're drawing 20 cards, and then all of a sudden you're like, crap. And so, believe it or not, this is what gets countered in those matchups for the who's at home and people that know what they're doing. And that's why I have multiples of them, and then I can keep getting stuff back. And then the last Blight-Priest. So I hope you like my version of I just call it SuperStorm. I was like, hey, you know what? Storm's not dead. What if you put these two things together? So, and it keeps people off the beaten path. What am I talking about? Too much coffee. Anyway, so one of my very favorites, and yours too, I'm sure, is White Infect. I've been having so much fun with this. I've been clobbering people with this build. Now, it's very similar to what we played last. The big, I keep coming backwards and forth with Angelic Renewal. In the end, whether it's Edict or red damage, this is just too good, and it helps trigger Ethereal Armor. And I swear I'll play this list 4 times in an evening, usually with a libation of my choosing, and one person will just be like, oh my god, what is that? Never seen it before, blah blah blah. And sometimes they're like, fan of the show, and I'm like, you can't be that big of a fan, because this is like a fan favorite, and we love it. So Solid Footing obviously flips the script on Priests of Norn. We've got, sorry, a little indigestion there. We've got Benevolent Bodyguard and Benevolent Blessing. It's a benevolent deck, I tell you. Actually, I shouldn't be playing this one because it's benevolent, right? Propaganda, you have sent the mods other lists, only SuperStorm. Was that intended? Yeah, there's just too many lists today. I was going to maybe play 3 or 4, but I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear. It's a selfish show because it's my favorite holiday. And a little weird fact, I was actually supposed to be born on Halloween, but that was back when... doctors kind of looked at the lady and were like, and they would just get out a calendar and some scratch paper and go for it. So probably realistically early November, but I was almost a month late according to things. So I guess I really like the womb. Anyway, we've got 4 Solid Footings. I only go 2 Umbras. Really like this card. A lot of times I'll miss it in the list, but I think 2-3 is the right scenario right now for this metagame. Obviously, the armor, this comes in, it's just a house. The Lost Leonin is pretty terrifying. So, hey, we're on point there as far as, look at these. This is Halloween, right? God, can you imagine if you were really skinny and you could pull that off? That'd be a pretty sweet little outfit to walk around in and stuff. Speaking of outfits, got the Gary mask that we did about a year or 2 ago, and I'm going to be walking around town a little bit with that on. Nimbus Wings, kind of the MVP sleeper of the deck. It looked kind of clunky, like, what's this draft card doing in your list? And 4 of them? And it's like, yeah, it's gigantic. It keeps our dudes out of fiery cannonade range a lot of times, and it's just, you drop it and you usually win, because it's usually backed up with a bodyguard or blessing, and, let me join a queue, and then we will discuss from there. Then I will start discussing is what I'm trying to say there. All right, we'll go like this. Submit. And am I in? Did I submit? Huh? What's going on here? Did I submit? Create. Well, let's go. Okay. So anyway, back to the list here. I don't know why that little glitch happened there. So, hey-o, Pauper Tim in the house, Bite Pass TV. Bigger Pauper event happening in, is that Wisconsin? Hosting a huge PauperCon next Friday. Very nice. Send me a link at paupergan@gmail.com. Be happy to promote it. But if it's next week, again, I won't be on next week. It's a rarity that I miss a show, but I'm going to have 2 and 3 weeks, so apologies for that. But it's surrounded in Halloween lore. But we'll do what we can to help promote it if you want. So Sacred Cat is our little Edict bait, and Lone Missionary. This kind of rounds out our burn issue, because this is mostly for a Tog, but obviously you bring it in against burn too. Seal of Cleansing helps trip the Ethereal Armor, and it's just kind of a catch-all ability. Journey to Nowhere, end of turn, that sort of thing. COP Blue, like to just catch them out of the blue and keep them off guard, mostly for like ninjas and stuff. Those games can kind of go long, and don't worry, I didn't forget about you, Gutshot. He's hiding over here in the shadows. Obviously 4 of those, because we have a lot of 1-drops. Now, the cooler thing, though, is that against like the spell-heavy decks, these are enchantments, and they come in at instant speed, and it's this weird, sneaky part of the metagame that usually gets through. And then, 3 strands, because we are running a lot of creatures, and when you have a vigilant blocker like this, it's pretty epic. So anyway, yeah, so there's that. What was I going to do? Oh, okay, here we go. As we roll off and see if we can get another victory. Okay, we've got a nice helping of creatures. Now this list, I run a lot of lands. We will keep this, and this is why. A lot of times white, I truly believe, speaking in Houdini lore, white is cursed. I truly believe that. It was the first color I really started playing competitively, trying to play White Weenie. And of all the colors, it's this complete superstition. Has no bearing on logic. But I've always noticed that white, you can put in 27 lands and you will get like screwed. And so I run all 4 steps. I even run 2 Ash Barrens to try to fix my flood when it does happen, because it's always one or the other. And you can't really miss a land drop very often here. So we're going to slow roll this with the, seeing that our opponent has the Rakdos colors out there. You like my little Rakdos pumpkin here? I spent way too much time on this frame. The new vampire lady came out. I forget her name. We'll bring out our protection suite here. I don't know. I will bring out both, because if he can wrath, I can save one of the bodyguards with the other bodyguard. But anyway, yeah, I did all this shading and doing this, and it was too new of a card to really have anything out that did stuff, and I was like, sure. Well, you use that Galvanic Blast on him there, buddy. Flying Ghost Priest, that's boo sheet. Oh no, here we go. Pauper Tim starting early. Thank you, my friend. You get me every time, man. I love it. Oh, man. All right, so it looks like we've got a big old 3/3 wolf headed our way. And a neat little part about this list is almost nobody knows what the hell you're doing, and so they do things like Galvanic Blasting your bodyguard, when if they knew anything, they would know to be afraid of something much more sinister. Yeah. Flying Priest. Oh, man, that's good times. And yes, I did. Last time we showed this, everybody brought up to my attention that the new creature type has set in. So this says Phyrexian. And what's the crowns? The Crown of Awe, the Crown of Blankety Blanks. There's all kinds of little crowns. And so, well, that's a strange choice, isn't it? What are the odds that he's got a sorcery? Probably nothing. But, I'm going to try to play correct magic. I'll go like this and say red. Does he have another one? Seen 2 Galvanic Blasts. I think he might have just misdirected that blast. What's this, an Edict? Yep, that's the one thing we don't like. Now, I did mess around with, that's why I brought in Sacred Cats against these kind of builds that have that, because we don't have that many creatures. And I messed around with Raise the Alarm and also Raise the Worthy, the buyback one, but a little too cutesy in the end. Rather just gain life and have a multifaceted approach. So, alrighty. I don't really care about this as much. We've already seen 2 blasts, though. I'm going to gamble here. I'm going to rock like this. This can win in 2 turns if we draw the right card. Yeah, that's the new Anya, but it wasn't her. It was who's the main vampire lady that's getting married? She was the one I grabbed the card from and then just scribbled and scratched and tried to do all kinds of miss and match, because the software I use isn't up to date on the brand new stuff. So that was a bummer. So now with 4, we've seen an Edict though, so I'm going to kind of slow roll this. I'll probably drop that Leonin and truly just sit and not do anything. I mean, I'll attack. But Crimson Bride, I think that's the one. Yeah, thank you guys. All right, so let's get Edict proof with our scary Leonin. Now, I could drop Nimbus Wings. I'm not gonna, though, because we've seen a lot of removal. And he could just have a Galvanic Blast in response. So I'm either going to wait till he taps out, or I've got more mana to do, like in response to a Nimbus Wings activation. So keep in mind, boys and girls out there, a lot of people don't play Infect enough, or they don't see one with a big backside like this. That little wolf is about to get clipped. He's a 2/2 permanently now. And when you put First Strike on Infect, anybody that's been with us for a year or plus, I've heard this ad nauseum, but it's a hell of a thing. Okay, so now we've made him use a card, which is cool. We'll do this and call red. And there we go. Protected from red for the rest of the game, but not black. Clearly under-caffeinated. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, since before. Apologies on that. Good to have you back with us. Yeah. We played my SuperStorm list. I call it that out of just sheer non-creativity. I dumped too much of it into the deck. But it's a little too stressful to play live, and I was very happy to get away with a WW. And there we go. So now our little wolf, he's going to fit on that ledge a lot better. Here we go. All right, here we are. Let's do some things. What one do I value more? I'll put this on here. We're going to get out of range here. And now outside of a cast down, we're feeling pretty good. It would be nice if we had those bodyguards hanging out, but we don't. We'll just go over for half their life. And I don't want to attack with that Leonin just because Edict's kind of one of the only abilities that they've got outside of a cast down. They just drew some cards, so that priest might not be long for this world. The blood bank. I've seen better, Pauper Tim, especially from you. You boo sheet. It is pretty cool to see Dracula back, right? We'll go over that, the few cards there are. There's that new green boost with trample for 1 green. I'm not saying it belongs in a list of Infect, but it's very, very, very close to making the cut. Especially with some of the trample mechanics and like ram through and such. So that's almost timeout worthy. Next notice. Woo, Halloween stream. You betcha, baby. Alrighty, let's see. We got this owl bear coming out. Man, everything, you know, you play Magic, it's pretty hard not to feel like it is Halloween, but our opponent's just dead here unless they have Snuff out. But they don't have a swamp, so I think they're just dead here. Do they not see that our flying priest? So this is an homage to some of our fans that were like, hey, you should, even though, so you get flooded in this list, but you don't want to go 2 colors, so I added 2 Ash Barrens, and it looks a little wonky, but I've been really liking it. Grave Diggers left to burn. Propaganda. Nice. All right. So can't block a 5/9 flying priest with Infect. Yowza. So a lot of times these lists... Oh, so what you'll notice too, the longbow has left our main board because Tron is not really a thing anymore because of, I guess they didn't want more of Infect. So that was, what the hell was that? I'm about to write Gone. That was Ponza? Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to go over this list here. I'm going to take our first little break. Yeah, this list I just really like. I think a lot of times too, people are just, they get pissed off that they lose to it. And it's had a pretty good game against Dimir too. I mean, Fairies is always going to run rampant on people, but this list with the gut shots and stuff can cause some issues. Anyway, the issue here being that Longbow, that's what I was talking about. So Longbow used to be main because of the Tron Menace, but as you just saw in that very last game, cleansing wildfires everywhere, and it's kind of keeping Tron quashed a little bit. That being said, I'm sure the very first time I jump into a league, which is very few and far between these days, with this list, that'll be my first, second, and third opponent, and I will lose game 1, and it'll be pivotal, and because I don't have Longbow main. That being said, I do believe it belongs in the sideboard now. That made room for an extra renewal here, but as you can see, we have 23 lands, 2 Ash Barrens, 4 Fengrafs, which bring our dudes back, and 4 of these. Now, keep in mind, let's take 23 and subtract 4. We're at 19. Subtract 2 more, we're at 17, and then subtract 3 more. Sometimes towards the middle or late game, if everything's showing up and you're drawing like crazy and stuff, it can feel like a pretty tight niche deck. I mean, we do top out at 3 mana. Seems like a lot of cards, but you don't want to be missing stuff. You've got a lot of tricks that you want to hit up and things like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go get some more coffee. I'll be back right after this. already. I don't have any creatures here. We got to mulligan this. That's double mull. Now we're down to 2. We will keep. Speaking of our cursed effects. All right, we have 2 of these. I can get rid of one of them. I really like this guy, and I really like keeping 2 things around, but we have evasion here. I'm going to lean on getting rid of the wings just because death happens. It is Halloween after all. All right, here we go. I've got to chill out with the caffeine here. I know it's Halloween, so I'm like naturally caffeinated, and I'm like taking baths in caffeine this morning. Has points to burn another card. Oh, all right, at the end of the show, let's do this. Let's see. I forgot. That's what the Gravedigger question was about. If it was a question. Here we are. Let's see. Actually, this is what happened to Gravedigger. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, no. The only 2 we've got left are a Plains and Sandstorm. So, yeah. Careful those spiderwebs around the open flame. That's right. Thank you for that, Dreamer Stingo. African Agus in the house. Thank you, and hello back at you. All right, I got to concentrate here. Of course, we've been going gangbusters today, winning like crazy, and then the time our deck kind of fibs a little bit, is that the best way to put it, is against fairies. We double mulligan. It's like the deck needs any more help being superior, right? A bit un-Halloweeny card, Plains and Sandstorm. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should save it for 2 weeks from now. Another reminder, no show next week. Apologies. I know it's one of the worst things a streamer can do is miss a show, but I've got work, so I'm not going to complain about that. Ichorclaw Myr is surprisingly good against fairies, and so is the priests, especially if a ninja shows up here. That's going to be good times. Good times. So they're going to draw 1 card, and that will be it, unless they are playing something other than the islands. Why do ghosts love going to the pub? To get booze. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Rattling them off like crazy. Okay, I'll just do this. Hope we don't run into a foil. Who plays that, right? I do. And a few lists. Nah, I'm lying. 1 list. Illusions. Returning islands, and doing something with those extra islands. When you only build for like a 1 or 2 mana curve, you're good to go. Thank you for that, Shiraz. I will put this up here unless you tell me otherwise. So, right next to my Einstein rock. If you missed that story, one of my buddies went to Switzerland and saw Einstein's official abode from back when. And I like my friends when they go places, instead of bringing me back expensive gifts, I like to have rocks from unique places. Alrighty, that ninja's going to lose his black belt, go down to about a green with a stripe, maybe, as they say here in the States. Actually, I don't know of anybody that has green in a stripe. It's usually browns and orange. Weird. Shoot. All right. Darn it. They were thinking. They were doing stuff. So we'll drop our Fengraf. We could get it right back. I'd rather get that renewal out there. Booyah. But yeah, it's a pretty selfish weekend here for me. Oh man, wouldn't that have been sweet? Bonk, bonk. There we go. Oh, well, we've got this and that. We'll drop the renewal. It's a nice little combat trick if we need it. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Where do ghosts like to shop, says Pauper Tim. The Ghostery Store. You can just kind of feel the taffy being pulled on that one. But I keep them coming. I'll keep them coming. It's a bad dad joke stream, I tell you. Thank you for joining me, everybody, here on Propaganda. As always, we got 40 viewers. That's awesome. So yeah, I was checking out my Thursday night hang right now is the whole card on Twitch with our old buddy Little Fight adventuring through the mazes and such. But for some reason, I'm always super busy on Thursday nights. My edits always go really long, or the client wants to make changes at the last second and stuff. So craziness. But other than this crazy week coming up, hopefully I'll have some more time the holidays and such. So I've got some holiday promos. You see, when you're a content creator like me and you make all these specific commercials and such that are just very specific for Pauper and sometimes seasonally, you get into that little groove where, well, this is kind of a Christmas promo, and I've got to wait till one part of the year to do it. So when Halloween rolls around, I kind of throw out all the spooky stops and stuff. So I hope you all appreciate it. If Halloween's not a thing in your country, move, because it's awesome. I like it. That's not horribly obvious, right? Yeah, our burning card ceremony is coming to a close, I guess. The ninja's only hitting for 1. Feeling okay here. I'd really, really, really like to get that priest back, or just draw a priest right now. That'd be epic if I could draw a priest. Draw the priest. Draw the priest. Oh, man. I'll cycle this. I know I could trip the Fengraf EOT, but I can also maybe draw another land here and do the same thing. All right. Hey, look at this. Woo! Can't complain about how I'm drawing today, that's for sure. Ichorclaw, very underrepresented. It's a lot of card for an Infect card, I tell ya. And if you look closely, boys and girls, that priest is about to hit for 5. If it can. We both said, hey, at the same time you drew the priest. Nice. I don't know if I should trip this on that. Scred's headed our way. That's fine. We don't have to worry about... I'm going to say no to this. No. This is the house. We're only taking 1 a turn, and we can just eat up ninjas all day long. We don't have to worry about edicts. So they need to make a skeleton-based set that would make them viable. Oh. The Grim Sweeper. Nice. Got use of renewal to help footing. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. Solid footings. Heck of a card. And don't hoard it. A lot of times, you are playing Infect. You got a smaller clock. You want to just get in and get out. So that 1 damage and with the Ethereal Armor can sometimes just be good on the back of an Ichorclaw Myr. It's not ideal. And before Cannonade, it was a really nice trick against like Trickery, speaking of tricks. But unfortunately, now we've got 2 dudes in our yard. And if I trip that Fengraf, we might get back the Ichorclaw Myr, which won't be supreme. But what are you going to do? A ninja for a ninja? I think I'd rather kill the ninja. If he wants to bring out another one, that's fine. Let's do that. They call me Butter because I'm on a roll. Jeez. Oh, man. You've got to be close to like the high 80s or maybe even 90s as far as comments over the last like 2 or 3 months there, Pauper Tim. The Orange Mitten strikes again. Woo! And away we go. Yeah, my son. Oh, man. Have I started watching a show? I just love it. It's called Dark on Netflix. I've really fallen in love with it. Really, really like it. Thanks to my mom for recommending it. She's like, I saw this show. I think you'll really like it. It takes about 3 days of your life, which meaning, it's 3 seasons. But, man, really, really enjoying it. So if you want to get in the Halloween mood and such, it's a pretty good place to go. Alrighty, well, we've got double smackaroony here. We'll come on over like this. And outside of a Scred, we can even stay alive from. So this is pretty fun, right? We'll do this. Does he have a Scred in response? Because then we can just do it again. Solid footing with flash. Gotta love it. And of course they have Scred. This is... the deck that just has it all, right? They're not going to be dead, but they're going to be very close. Now, if we can just draw a protection from blue spell here, that'll be awesome. So this takes 4, but we have a Pro 5. And now we're going to hit for 6. And better than that, we can block everything. Now we've seen 3 lightning bolts. I do believe I will still block, even though... They attack with both. It suggests that they've got a Scred, right? Or another blocker. There's always that. Hey, guys, we double mulliganed here, so I'm happy that we're in this. Got him at 8. Got an active Fengraf. And what's neat about the priest, outside of more damage coming our way, which is inevitable. They're looking at so many cards. We're able to block, and so the race is kind of neutered a little bit there. So, yeah. Anyway, maybe I'll play another deck after this. Nobody's beaten white Infect, I tell you. You have relics in your board that can make Fengraf non-random. This is true, Dreamer Stingo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It takes 4. Does he have another bolt behind this? Oh, of course they do. They've got another Scred behind it. This one doesn't seem to be that big of an issue these days. Again, remember we double mulligan, so just happy that we got him to 8. But boy, Dimir Fairy's really coming on strong. That and Affinity just seem to be everywhere, don't they? I'd rather keep the Mystery up here. We're probably going to lose our first game here. 1, though. Well, maybe we'll win the match. So, says Pauper Tim, my username on MTGO is the Orange Mitten. That name came from a D&D sessions. Everyone on MTGO used to call me Tom for short and made me reorder or rethink changing my name to the Indigo Mitten for a while since my name is Tim. Oh, interesting. I guess you got to go with the initials there, right? My initials are AGM in real life. I always used to think it means a game master. Of course, it's pretty small thinking. The A stands for A. It's like, oh boy, you sure missed some sleep, right? And give me a priest. Woo! More likely than not. We've already seen a hard counter there. And, you know, they've already shown us a counter. So our only hope is that we bring this out and they don't counter it. So I'm going to pay 4, making them think like, oh, this 1 mana spell is going to be better than 3. And we're just going to lose here because they're going to counter it. We're going to cycle and then we'll scoop. And Tom should be the nickname. Let's cycle here. Let's just see what we got. Did somehow the game glitch and give me a even a gut shot wouldn't work here. Alrighty. We have lost that one. Say, says Fae, begin sideboarding. All right, I'm going to bring in this, and I'll bring in all of these. And now for some hard questions. I'm going to lose the Umbras. I don't want to lose. I almost never like to lose the wings here. Lose one part of our combo, 1 wing, and a bodyguard. And that's uncounterable, but it is 1. I'm trying to stay away from too many 1s. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to go down to 2 solid footings here. When I have a lot of answers, and I only bring in the longbow for fog locks. People that are just sitting there, moments peace, that sort of thing. Good thing about playing Infect, as many of you know, life gain don't matter. And there's a lot of people that have life gain means. So all dead cards for us. Yeah, I want to play first, unlike our last build. Woohoo! Well, we've got our dude. We've got like all kinds of fun stuff coming, but we can't do anything with it. But I'm going to keep it. Sue me. Take these Nimbus Wings and learn to fly again. That would be a pretty funny little skit there, Nimchimsky. Well said. I always forget how much of American pop lore and stuff has kind of infiltrated the world and stuff. Being the media hub of the world, I guess shouldn't be that big of a surprise. Gets me every time though. Yeah, if sweepers weren't such a thing, you would think that there'd be a few bit better Tim effects, right? Thornwind Fairies. There's the Zurin Enchanter, which is just Tim with a better haircut. Do you sweat in a river? If no one is around for miles to smell you. No, I'm not sure if I get. Is that another dad joke? If so, I'm not reading it correctly. All right, we'll drop the renewal. I'm going to do this now. I don't want it to turn into a ninja. And why not? I'll just attack because I'm lazy. Actually, that's kind of the opposite of lazy, right? Just a random thing. Okay. Cutting a tree down in the forest in the woods. But has anybody else seen Dark on Netflix? Kind of snuck up on me. It was always suggested, and I'm like, whatever. And it's a German subtitle film, and man, you talk about reading puts me to sleep like that. And so I'll lay down. I usually lay down too, and I start reading another language and out like a light. But no diss on the series. It's just from... All right, so we've got pretty much everything we want. We just need another land. Hey, I think I'm running 24, 23 lands. Pretty crazy. Dark, yeah, not the dark like the set. It's just dark, and the R is backwards. Yeah, very, very cool show. The last thing I need this week, because I've been so busy, but between notes and stuff, sometimes I'll sit down and catch a few minutes here and there and such. So pretty cool. Oh, come on. Why is it always against the best decks that you draw badly? I'm running arguably 3 more lands than I should, and I'm screwed more often than I'm flooded in this list. Come on. Oh, let's go. Put a Benevolent Blessing on a Bodyguard. Man, it'd be like the nicest person in history. Benevolent Bodyguard. I guess benevolence doesn't mean nice. But it's close. Come on. Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Deck. Here we go. Now I'm getting bitter. Hey, how many lands are we running again? Let's look, boys and girls. 23. Wow. No, just walking in at counter spells here. It's probably got like 1 or 2 hard cast ninjas, 2 counter spells. I don't want to attack, for those of you wondering why. Could be maybe at like 15 life by now, but the flashing fairies, I don't want to run into one of those and lose our bodyguard. Of course, we could put solid footing on it, but that'd feel like quite a waste, wouldn't it? And when it does present you with a land, this is the one it gives you. Thanks a lot. Should I bring out... I want to instigate some counters here, so... Or him to just tap stuff. I don't really even mind a spell stutter here. Okay. Because it'll instigate a... what do you call it? A ninja exchange. Rather that than one of our spells, or like an Ethereal Armor. And I guess we let this go too. Yeah, because we've got Blessing out there. And Blessing's better than the creature just because we've got Ethereal Armor in our hands, so I'll say no to this. No. I'll keep it out. Good news is we can just keep dropping those priests. Drop the priest. Propaganda, I want to see you do an off-night stream on a different game like Slay the Spire or Dungeon Top. It could be fun. Well, that makes one of us. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I'm so loyal to this game. I just... and lazy. I think if I was ever to play another game, it would probably be like the original Diablo, which I looked into. I've got it on this laptop and everything. It's not stream friendly. It's one of those, like, it goes full screen and can't really quite tell what's going on. And I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. We got a hard counter or not. The cool thing about a lot of this list, though, especially the priests, is that it demands that hard counter. What am I talking about? Well, unless you've got 2 or 3 fairies out, you need something relevant. All right, we will trip this. We'll say yes. He's back. Angelic Renewal. I think do I go down to, or do I go up to all 4 of those? It just feels so good in this list. I think that's probably what I learned today, right? I'm feeling like 4th Angelic Renewal. you're just joining us, we do a little thing at the end of the show, when I remember, called What Did We Learn? And it can be something silly, like we learned that Pauper Tim is incredibly good at bad dad jokes and puns. Or it could be relevant, like I think I want to go with that 4th Angelic Renewal. Oh, this feels tasty, doesn't it? Now we have options. So I'm going to pull this off and hope I can drop a blessing on it. I don't believe they have bounce. Most lists with 2-color access have a little bit of a flaw in their game plan with that, right? They don't run echoing and things like that. So we're going to drop here and go like this. Do we sneak over for... It worked. Oh, that's a hoot. Sure. Now I can call red on it. I want to keep that Benevolent Blessing open. What do we have here? Ooh! I'm glad I didn't go all in. Not a card you see all that often, and I commend my opponent. I'm glad AK-24 played that. It's one of my favorite blue cards that is very underplayed. Curfew is phenomenal against this kind of a deck. Hexproof, etc. Woo! Did I miss a drop there, or did he do that EOT? I think he did that EOT with the flash mechanic. Seeing the creature come back down, I was like, wait a minute. That was very nice. Yeah, I think Curfew's one of those cards just needs to be in more decks. Thank you, List. It's nice of you to show up. All right. I don't care about this Myr, but he's already got a fairy out. We haven't seen many hard counters. I think the better option here is the Myr. He's got a fairy, that's fine. I mean, it's not. But we could... I just want this to eat more removal before I start dropping priests. Drop the priest. And since I don't really care about protecting it, I'm just going to bring this out now. Turn off ninjas. Make him use a hard counter if he's got it. It's already shown we don't have another sprite in their hand. COP Blue, who plays that? I do. Because all your removals pointed at... Ooh, interesting. Okay, well, they've got an answer for the Myr. Otherwise, that wouldn't have slipped through. Cool. And there we go. I think we got our opponent a little bit worried. Who plays COP Blue? Not enough people, I tell you. It's one of those old schooler mentalities, right? A lot of times you're brewing a deck with access to white. Big surprise. Most decks have access to just about everything these days. That's one of my griefs with the format. I wish there were more monocolored decks as a better strategy. Anyway, enough old man complaining. But COPs, a lot of times you're scratching your head going, look at how the list really runs and such. It can be pretty fun. All right, well, I've got options for multiple of those. Do I just try to shoot that now? Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to just shoot this now. See what he wants to do. All right, cool. I'll bring this out. I'm going to wait. We've already seen one Curfew. I want to drop that other priest. I'd really like, if the deck is listening to me, would you please give me another land? Oh, maybe not. Hold on. I would really like to be able to respond with a Benevolent Blessing there. So we were in the last game despite double mulliganing, and then this game our mana really didn't show up. And again, it's always against the top decks when your list will do that. Yeah. Booyah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We've got stuff to do here. I'm still going to lean on this and this. I'll drop this out. And there's another sprite. Son of a gun. Now if he's got a third, that's going to be really depressing with that priest out there. Oh well. See if we can stay alive. Scred, lightning bolt, scred, lightning bolt. No ninjas yet. Talking about bounce, says Nimchimsky. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like it in the evolve mechanic too. Those kind of decks, a lot of fun. All right, here comes the sneaking rat. Is he going to lie on his, or rat on his friends and tell us what's coming? He is. Augur Bolus, you jerk. We had all our secrets shored up, and then you showed up. Open the floodgates. Told our opponents everything. Ruined it all for everyone. Boo. Got once a year I play the next promo coming up on our next break. From the old Vincent Price days of the old Magic lore. We're probably walking right into a counterspell, or they just went and found another piece of removal. It's frustrating because I usually do pretty good against this list, but when your deck's fighting you, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to write the L already because we're at 9. It's only going to take 3 more turns. They've only got 1 card left, really. But again, here, we've got the Fengraf, and we're getting kind of screwed. Our opponent has 7 lands. We have 23, let me remind you. We have to lose 1 just to get back in this game if we don't top deck something decent. And speak of the devil, here comes another ninja. Now we really need that priest to show up. Yeah, we're 1 bolt away from dying here. Yeah, I can't even live here because let's say I pretty much have to. They're at 5. I'd have to top deck a priest. Yeah, not going to go this route. Alrighty, let's concede. They got us. Very frustrated with that loss. Don't mind losing against very good decks. That's usually the only thing that can beat this one. But as you can see, we're really set up against it. We have 23 lands, and they didn't show up. They were just hiding from us. So as we move on, let's see what else we could play today. Because today's a selfish day. It's Halloween. I'm all into Halloween. As anybody, even a blind person, could probably deduce that. Ooh, midnight sounds like a Halloween thing, right? Let's do a little midnight combo action. When we return, we will be playing Presence of the Gond with Omen and Skyfishers. Oh my. But until then, I'm going to go use the facilities. I recommend you do the same. And I'll be back right after this with part 2.5 of our Halloween spooktacular.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The demons squeal in sheer delight. It's you they spy, so plump, so right. For though the groove is hard to beat, yet still you stand with frozen feet. You try to run, you try to scream, but no more sun you'll ever see. For evil reaches from the crypt to crush you in its icy grip. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. Can you dig it?
Confess your worst plays to the Suture Priest. Comment below. Yeah.
A planeswalker's life is an otherworldly journey that is far from easy. The consuming vortex of an ever-changing metagame can leave your house of cards feeling bombarded with endless scenarios and worry of what's next. But one company has your best interests in mind, clarifying your uncertainties with hope and solid footing. Weather the storm. Insurance for the common mage.
And we're back. Woo! Okay, well, we're just going to jump right on over here, and we'll go over the deck list afterwards. If it wins, otherwise we'll just ignore it forever. All right, our mana's good. We got Midnight Guard. We've got a little bit of a combo here. We'll keep this. Another one of my little pet decks I like to, if you run into me online and stuff, a lot of times I'm playing one of the 3 of these, especially this last week or so. Propaganda. Been thinking about a green-white Tethmos build, getting back to Biograph. Ah, pretty nice. You don't have to sack creature, eh? Snogglesworth, our Pauperty champion, for those in the know. We did a Jeopardy spoof for a long time. It was actually very popular in the chat, and everybody liked the game, but ratings went boop when I uploaded it to YouTube, so we don't really do it too much. But anyway, I'm bringing that up because I think he won the Auramancer category and was like undefeated. Anyway, sent me a really cool list. Probably play it in about 2 weeks. It's kind of a take on Brute Squad, but more of a modular angle, and yeah, he squished me pretty good with it last night. I think he had like a 12-12 Ornithopter, or would have been a 12-14, right? And goblins. You know, goblins is kind of a Halloween thing too. I considered. I think Goblin Caves is very underplayed too. Of course, with people playing so much land destruction, maybe that's not so much the case here. All right, let's just slow roll this. I really like Missionary main because just like our Stormless that I went over, it buys you time. It's going to require a resource, whether it's a creature or a spell, for them to get rid of this, and then we kind of reset our values. And if they let us live, Prismatic Strand goes online, and then things get really messy. All right. And what do we have here? I'm going to wait for him to just use a spell on that because we have a Prismatic in our yard, so I'll wait on that. We're at 21 after all. I think you should get more into Rakdos territory. Oh, the combo shows up. Who needs that when you got this? I'm just going to slow roll this. We're going to drop Prismatic. Next turn we'll have Guard, combo, and then we just win. Outside of like triple Fire Blast or something. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Y'all know I love Halloween. The only thing I like close to Halloween, other than friends and family, is all of my friends here on Twitch. It's just so cool to hang out with all of you. All right, we got to spoil the surprise here, but I'd rather keep our blocker up. Ask for another spell here. Oh, here we go. Bonk. And I'm bummed out I'm going to miss next week's show, but after that, we should be smooth sailing through the new year and all that stuff, because I'm not going anywhere, except in front of y'all with this bald head of mine. Let's go. Yeah, Dreamer Stingo. It used to be so few and far between that anybody would even roll that out, being land destruction. But now it's like, ooh, it makes sense to play it. All right, we're just going to play this. And we might as well rock like this. Cat's out of the bag. Now we don't care about Missionary. And we don't touch that Prismatic Strands for nothing other than saving that Guard. Commune's not that great right now because we've got the combo and half of our strands are already in our hand and in the yard. And for those of you that have never seen this combo work, it's pretty pretty. All right. I like this. Double bolt maybe gets us through. All right. Well, let's see what we got. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Can you do anything about it? All right. Gond wins. Goblins. All right. We'll bring this in. I don't really like Circle of Protection in this matchup. And these are good. These are good. I'll get rid of Oblivion Ring. I'll say submit. Boop. But COP red against goblins, I don't like it. It just makes you use all your resources. And, you know, I think the newer player might be like, it's red, I'm going to bring this in. And there's times it might save your butt. But when I say go wide, for those of you that are new to the term, means when you play a lot of little creatures, which is what Goblins does. And when you have that scenario, Prismatic's so superior to a COP. If you build tall, meaning you enchant the hell out of it, put a lot of investments, artifacts, equipment, that sort of thing, then you can have some fun the other way. All right, our mana's perfect. Look at these gorgeous lands. Oh, love them. Little side note. We'll keep this. Y'all know this is used to be my walk to school. It was identical to this. I mean, everything about it. The tree lean, the little double knot. I swear this artist, Tony's been where I grew up. But I was just there with my brother. And overgrowth and all these other things have happened. And I could barely recognize it because it's not really a trail anymore. Because, you know, I think too many parents and whatnot got butthurt about it being a dangerous place. It was a little arboretum around the school, and a lot of little rumors about it being some spooky place where, you know, terrible murders and never happened. But you know how kids get with that stuff. Speaking of which, geez, I went to a pool hall in Sacramento with my brother about last week. And last night there was a double murder there. It's like, geez, quite grim. All right, well, they're stuck at 1 mana. Let's go find our stuff with this. Get a creature out at least. Okay, so we're going to do this, and Prismatic ends up in our yard, so we like that. Love this mechanic with a Journey, and we're 5 cards closer to getting it. But yeah, it was a trip. I always like billiards. Brother and I have always, that's kind of been our game. My brothers, believe it or not, aren't much into games, and I think it's because they had me as a little brother. And I was always chomping at the bit to play, and will you play with me? Will you play this? Will you play some chess? Will you do this? And so I think I kind of burned them out for a lifetime. That's such a thing. All right, well, we've got some options here, don't we? Might as well just drop this, and we'll do this and block, do some stuff, buy some time. I agree, Lorraine Sushi. Mountains are pretty tough to find. I like everything to be kind of gloomy. Like, here comes a storm, right? A little cloudy day coming. This one, it's like, uh-oh, rain's coming. And then this one, obviously, you know, sunset's coming and the vampires are out. Oh, old school, Mock Fanatic. I respect that. Good times. Well, I guess we're just going to block blink, right? Boom, pow, bing. Might as well. Let's do this. Now we can get it back with Omen, and then get it back with Skyfisher, and blah, 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 blah. Time to ping. Time to zing. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. Well, we're still going to call red because it'll keep us from going dead. And I'm going to do this because it has flash, and I like to illustrate that. Crazy cards. All right. Might makes right. Boom, boom, missionary. And we're back. Skyfisher. Plenty of ways to stay alive until our combo shows up if we need it. Sometimes we don't. Nice to see goblins showing up. Tell you what, though, what mountains lack in artistic aesthetics, for the most part, they make up for in goblin flavor text. Don't you agree, Lorraine Sushi? I think most of the very best flavor texts usually are goblins. Yeah, I've always run these. You know, I used to mix it up quite a bit, and I've got a lot of options. I've got like 30 of this, 30 of that, 30 of this, but when I find something I like, I tend to like to stare at it, especially when you play the game as much as I do, and I hope it doesn't frustrate anybody out there seeing the same ones. I've never heard that before, but hey, it could happen, I guess. Got to be maddening running up against this over and over again. And here comes super blocks, right? Waiting for a bushwhacker to put us out of our misery. But that might never happen at this rate. Dun, dun, dun. All right, well, we're going to do some stuff here. Woo! We will rock like this. Do I do that again? I think I'll just attack here. I'll just drop a Skyfisher. Not the most impressive play, but hey, this guy's sick already. Let's make him sicker. Boing! Summoning sick. It's one of the hardest concepts to teach a new player to Magic. It's like, okay, you got this thing, you paid for it. Now you gotta wait. Magic teaches in many ways. It teaches people to be patient, says the man who has no patience. All right, cool. Well, let's go find our dude. Or a, yeah, I should attack first, but who wants to play good magic, right? I'm here to have fun. Boop. There we go. Alrighty, let's attack again. I'm just going to come over with one. That's not really our main modus operandi. That Midnight Guard is not long for this world, but we have Omen of the Dead, so I'm not too worried about it eating something. What's a pumpkin's favorite sport? Asked Pauper Tim. Oh, God. Walked right into that one. Squash. Oh, if you're just joining us, this is the Dad's Show Spectacular. Just kidding. A little bit of a Halloween show. A little bit. What am I talking about? It's all about that. All our promos, everything. Even Weather the Storm. You see how I did that? We just gained like, I don't know, 110 life in that first game with my Storm list. And we have a custom-made Weather the Storm commercial to go along with it. What is it called? Communications available. All right. Well, let's block like this and this. Should I get rid of that? Sure. He wants to do his little move. We'll let him. In the end, he'll be left with 4 creatures. Go ahead, zing our Skyfisher. It's better than zinging our Midnight God. Midnight God. Missing up, Quap. Here we are. Omen of the Dead shows up again. Yes, I have 2. And so should you. Midnight Guard. And he's back. Bonk. If they're going to kill it, they're going to kill it. So I'm going to attack. Be so sweet to just draw another swamp. When you do play 3 colors, it's should be implied, but some people are new to deck building, or they're really good players and they don't build good decks, etc. There's all kinds of colorful flavorings throughout the MTG verse. However, if you are tempted to play 3 colors, it should be for a very good reason, and it should be mid to late game worthy. Omen of the Dead's only good about midway through the game, and so that's why I don't mind splashing for it. It's not a backbreaker if we draw a swamp early, etc. Alrighty, because I've got another Omen in my hand, I'm just going to try to put his feet to the fire here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're playing a variety of lists today. Theodore Green. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Alrighty. Well, are we just going to walk right into this? I believe we are. Maybe we should just wait. What do you say? Should we wait? Should we? They've got to have the goods, right? All right. We'll just try to win right here. We've got infinite life. We could just bring it back with another Omen here. I said this one. Let's go. Here comes the bolt. We can Omen it back, but and there's already a Gond here, so there's only 2 left in our yard. Hey, that's pretty cool. All right. Omen. Actually, we're going to get Skyfisher this time. If you look closely, got to get our engine online here. We've got pretty decent life ability. That's a thing. I'm going to sit back. 2 damage ain't worth it. If a Bushwhacker shows up, I want to be able to have a little bit of staying power here. And we're going to gain some life as the Soul Warden shows up. Okay, hold on. Pauper Tim is apologizing, so this one must be really bad. I'm going to read backwards. Why do you see so much hair on a werewolf's rear? Says Pauper Tim. It's because it's a full moon. That's not too bad. I've seen worse from you. Heard worse. What's the proper vernacular when you're talking about streaming, right? Alrighty, we're going to block this because I don't want to get extra creatures to him. Kind of still a little afraid of a Bushwhacker here. It'd be nice if a Prismatic shows up. Alrighty. Let's go get a Swampage. I think we have 2. Do we? Nope, I've only got the 1. I suck. Alright, I'll just grab a plane. I'll play the plane. we'll start to complain. And we'll do this. Go like this, and then we'll get back our Omen. And we'll play our Missionary. Back to full life. Gain 5 life thanks to the Warden. And here we go. And attack. Now we can attack. Today's show we will be switching decks a lot. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd one we've played. One more to go. Who knows what it'll be. Requests will be considered. But after all, like I said, it's a selfish show today. What do I mean by that? I'm playing what I like, damn it. Going to be gone next week. And so I want to leave you guys with lots of ideas while I'm away. And lots of Halloween lore to be decided too. It's got to feel pretty good. Our opponent, thank you, Wasanto, for not giving up. Because we've gained a lot of life this game. And I could easily see somebody just being like, I'm out of here. Screw this. You know what I mean? So who needs a combo? We're just going to attack. Got any lists that run Jack-o'-lantern? Oh, I know. Yeah, we should, huh? We should try to... Maybe we should build one together after this. Just make like the jankiest thing to go out on, right? That'll be fun. All right. We'll just do this. What should we grab? Auramancer would be pretty funny, huh? Oh, hello. I guess our opponent just ran away, huh? All right. That was weird. Let's make sure that I'm not still in the game. Oh, all right. Got tired of all the life gaining shenanigans. So anyway, I didn't even go over this list with y'all. So I will try to do that because if you like that list, I'll try to export all of these and they'll be in the description of the YouTube video. It'll be a while. There's only going to be a link to one of the lists for the downloadability, but if you want to copy paste them, we'll go from there and see what we can do there. Boink. So yeah, the Presence of the Gond combo is pretty awesome. Midnight Guard, Presence of the Gond. How do you protect it? With Prismatic Strands, which gets in your yard very easily with this, which helps you get this or this. And then if you accidentally misplace this, you get this. You bounce this to go get this, to get any other thing you want. There's all kinds of fun to be had here. So really fun list. In our sideboard, I've got a Pride Mage, kind of a catch-all. We've got a COP Red, 1 more Missionary, 2 Standard Bearers, all for Macabre, all 4 Scattershots, and 2 Harsh Sustenance for those Foglocks, because you can make infinite creatures, gain infinite life. And what good does that do when they just fog? So you just Harsh Sustenance them to death. All right. The Jack-o'-lantern lists are broken. Gotta wait till MTG fixes it with Pumpkin Patch. Oh, they are? Are you making a joke there? All right, I guess we won't do that. Okay. Ooh. Haven't. Now, this is an inferior build of one of my favorite lists, but it is very Halloween-y, right? We've got the Beacon Apparition, Edge of Divinity, Night Sky Mimic, Defile, Alchemist Gift. What was I thinking? What is this list? I don't know. Let's see. Shall we? I know what we shall do. Oh, no. Never mind. We won't do that. There's our Zendikon 05 from last week. A lot of those were 1-2s, but that is how it ended up happening. Let's see here. Oh, we've got our old fan favorite. This deck is so gone in the metagame right now. If you're scratching your head going, what the hell am I looking at? This is one of our other fan favorites up there with White Infect as far as requested a lot. It hasn't been requested lately, and I think it's because everybody knows the flavorings out there is there's not too much this is good against right now. Used to be pretty good. In fact, I went to I went to Pauper Sundays and got like, I don't know, it was like 11th or something out of like 60 people with it. I think it was this list too. But yeah, it's just, you know, your death on a stick sort of thing, and you got a lot of flash creatures and such. This is here for Guardian of the Guild pack, at least the last time I played it was. And then another card that you might not be familiar with, Terrifying Presence. In a list like this, it's pretty awesome. You fog everything except one thing, but you got to be really careful, because if they kill that one thing, then it doesn't work, does it? We've got Aaron, my son, his death build. I could play that, but who am I kidding? Let's go out with Black Sack. I love this list. I love it so much. This is a hybrid of a lot of things. Chid 3, who unfortunately stopped making YouTube videos. The last I checked, I hope he gets back to it and go give him some love, because he's an amazing mind in the Magic Pauper realm. But he came out with Blackburn Rovers about 1.5 years. Is it 2 years ago? You know me. Can't quite tell. Anyway, and so he did that, and then my son made a deck called Death, and he showed up and did some harm with that, and it kind of enlightened me to Serrated Scorpion and such. And then I was like, well, I've always liked to make decks that don't care about dying, and we've been over this a lot. I call it the best black deck out there, and I do believe it is. The only creature we really care about is Bone Picker, and a lot of times you can play a Crypt Rats out knowing it's a free Duress. What is this old man talking about? Well, if you play this and you have an Unearth in your hand, you can play it out, and then if they don't kill it right away, you kind of know what's in their hand. They don't have removal. So we're going to play my favorite, Death Touch Longbow, Wicked Akuba. As we switcheroo, this will be our last one today, but I will be online almost all day doing this, hopefully with many of you in the chat. And hit me up for a game or three. And I don't believe my play will slowly deteriorate as the midnight hour approaches, because I've got some really good beers. Root beers, kids. All right. Yeah, I want to play first. Woo! Here we go. It's all right. Actually, this isn't that good of a hand, is it? One of the few times I'm going to mulligan. Boop. Even though our land's right. All right, we'll keep this. Wicked Akuba. I love the all black keep. Throw this out. And we are done here. Anybody got cool Halloween plans? If that's a thing you celebrate. I hope so. And I did it. I'm so proud of myself. If you rewind on YouTube and go way back, almost every year, the entire month of October, I do Halloween shows. And I think I burned people out. I did my best this year, and it was good enough finally. I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I fibbed a little bit last week. I had one or two little beep flavorings and a little bit of a background, but it wasn't a full-blown Halloween show. I think last year I really overdid it. I think it was 4 or 5 weeks of it. My wife will always teases me about that, because there was one year in particular. It was about, 10, 11 years ago now. It was the 4th of July here in the States. Why are you bringing this up? Asked the chat. Well, I bring it up for a very good reason, because when the 4th of July is over here in the States, the next holiday in line is, it's supposed to be a drum roll, Halloween. And so that was the earliest I ever decorated, was July 5th. And it didn't go over too well with the missus after about a month or 2 or 3. Pretty crazy. Hexproof. Hey, I want some. This is not going to be good for us if that gets trampled. Hexproof is one of those lists. We've got to have what we had in our very first hand, which is a Fleshbag Marauder. We do have 2 mains, so. Okay. We need some options here. I'm going to attack. Yeah, let's make them think we got something fun. We're going to kill it regardless. Come on, Copper. Yeah, that's right. Get a free damage in. Check that out. Woo! All right, let's draw some options. So we're not going to live long if we don't get one of our Marauders online. Haha, we tricked you. We don't got any trick other than a deadly dispute. And we're disputing this. All right. I'll drop a Scorpion because we're going to be hurting for life, especially if that gets trampled. I'm going to play some Paper Magic in a bit, says Nimchimsky. Maybe hit the Halloween party in my building. Nice. Yep, we are not long for this world, and if Fleshbag Marauder does not show up, we sure hurt his feelings by sending him on his way in our opening 7, but little did we know we'd be going up against Hexproof. Little did I know the deck handed us the perfect card for it. We didn't get it, did we? All right, we might as well attack. So we're not going to be doing much else. Kind of a losing battle. We're just trying to draw like crazy. It'd be nice if we drew some land, and a Marauder would be really good here. Come on. Give me something. Give me another one. Well, this is strange. We usually have no problem getting to 3 lands, but at least we're not looking at a Marauder and waiting forever. Don't be another creature. Damn it. Oh, boy. What year is this? Feels like 2008. Garrick's Companion. Interesting choice. Not bad. Just good for them. I don't think we're going to live here. Yeah, we're not going to live. Let's just go to game. What game is it? Hex. All right. We'll do this. And in comes our hate. We already have 2 hate cards here. We'll bring in the 4th. And I'll get rid of a plunder. I like rats. I like everything here. Even life staff can stay. We could probably get rid of Unearth, but I like to get the rats back. Let's do it. Woo! Halloween is what keeps Christmas promos from spreading into September. Oh, God, are you right there? My goodness. Yeah, I got slated to do some Christmas promos just the other day. I was like, already? But it makes sense in my biz because you're always a couple weeks ahead. Yeah. All right. We have the draw. I should probably keep this. But we don't. I'm going to mulligan. I want to draw into my dude. All right, we'll keep this. I'll get rid of plunder. Deadly Dispute's just so much better in every way. Shape and form. Companion and Boggles. Stumpy Boggles. All right, here we are. I had a really bad outing at the Pauper Classic Tuesday. With this, I was very distracted doing like 8 things at once, but first time this list ever went kind of winless, a bunch of 1-2 losses. I was like, damn it. Does happen. Candy and costume clearance, nice. All right, we'll bring out our dude. We'll drop a rat just to hold back any sort of shenanigans. If they want to journey it, it'll cost them a turn. And it'll buy us time. Till you know who shows up. Our Fleshbag Marauder. I wish that had different artwork. I don't like the old one and I don't like the new one. All right. I'll drop the rat. And if you follow us on YouTube, if you go to the community tab, I put up a picture of where I first started playing Magic. It wasn't where I learned. I learned at Little Fight and I's house. I say that because we never lived together, but he lived in this cool little apartment in the middle of nowhere, and so did I, because it was such a cool place, and that's where I learned to play Magic. First place I ever moved out on my own. But there's a really crappy mall in the middle of a mining town up north, and that's where I learned, or that's where I like, the Summer of the Skull, and I played a lot of anti-games. So you hear me talk about it about every 3 or 4 months on the show. If you want to put a visual to it, that's where you should go. Woo! I'm gonna attack, baby. I can't block. Might as well do this. That Crypt Rat can get awfully big. This way we can blow it up and dispute. So we'll wait to see if he overextends here. Yeah, the old art probably does win. I'm kind of a hypocrite. I should have changed that, but I better be careful here. Do I do it at the end of turn? I don't want that thing getting any bigger. I'm going to trip this for 2, holding down control, boys and girls. Why do you do that, sir? Well, it's so I can dispute in response. I can get extra stuff out of the deal, I tell you. Yeah. Boink. We'll get this. We have disputed. We have killed things. We can target stuff with our Myr. Come on, flashback. Woo! All right. I tell you, there's a pretty good target in our yard. Bonk. Yeah, baby. Why do you play 4 Unearths and 4 Crypt Rats? Isn't that overkill? Well, when you want to make sure that you're going to win, it isn't. Beep, 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 boom. Met a few fans I didn't even know I had in the Northern California area. That was a trip. I was like, what? People from my old town actually watch Propaganda, so if you're out there, hiya. It's a play group that I learned about, and they actually were fans of the show, so that was pretty sweet. Oh no, the one card we don't like to see. That's hard for this deck to beat, especially if they get around the 40 margin, but We can do it. Those are some gorgeous lands from a distance, aren't they? And my son has such a fondness for Theros Beyond Death. It's like his favorite set for just kind of, you know, the set that he just kind of broke in and became his set sort of thing. I guess we'll chill on that. Crypt rats, everybody loves me some crypt rats. We will attack. If he wants to do something about it, that's cool. If not, we'll be good to go here. Hiya! And we'll keep our... I like Village Rites as the backup plan here. We'll make a token. Dude, who thought we'd get Metalcraft this game, huh? And then some. Check it, check it. All right. Well, I'm a purist. We'll bring these out. And we'll go for the throat here. Might be a bit of overkill with a double Poem Picker draw, but we're going to have to force him to kind of go all in here. Now we understand why Garrick's Companion showed up, right? Ha. Hey, you know, I like this card. Early on in Propaganda days, I played this card because it gets around a lot of the things that Hexproof is bad about. I've always liked that Hunt Beast. It's a pretty cool little combo. All right. But without trample, we can just do stuff all day long. I'll put out a blocker and a sacrificial lamb, just so I can block that. So I'm going to have to kind of invest in a, what do you call, trample ability. We're already down a game, so can't get overconfident here, but we are coming over for 6 a turn. And we've got 7 damage on the board here with the Footlight Fiend's help. But I probably wouldn't do that. Probably trip the rights. Trip the rights. Okay, I don't even mind this because it doesn't have trample. A lot of you guys out there that like Blasted Erm so much and are always sending me lists on that. This is why I don't like it. Okay, now we've got a problem. Now it has trample. Now it has trample. Well, it's still only going to be a 6 next turn and we can attack, so we'll be all right. It's going to hurt a lot. We might as well draw some cards. So I'll block. I don't know why I'm blocking, because I'm just going to Village Rites it, right? Bonk. I'll shoot him. Doesn't work because of trample. There we go. Yeah, spicy beast deck. And what they don't think that we're going to go all in with our plan here? Who do they think they're playing against? I'm a crazy man, I tell ya. We got nothing after this play. Damn. I'm going to wait till their turn just so that 3/3 doesn't come over and hit us, because we're going to be at pretty dire straits life. You know what? I might be able to just keep that one of those back. That would still hit us for 6. That's a lot. You know what? I think I want to do that. Let's just attack for 1, implying that we are going to do this. Yeah. You always forget, Home Picker's a hell of a blocker. You never want to be in that scenario. It implies that you're losing, which technically we are right now. We're down a game. Got all kinds of stuff coming our way. All right. There's no benefit to that. That ain't a Gnarlid. Wirewood Savage. Whenever a beast enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. Gotta love the word may. For those rare scenarios when you're tapped out. I mean, when you don't have a Feldon's Cane. Show me another streamer that plays Feldon's Cane for the win, right? Sometimes I've thought it might be fun to put the 4th cane in the sideboard because I already have access to 3 and just go with a Storm of Life build. And all it does is draw cards to get up to like 150 life, and then it just decks, people. Talk about your just ridiculous scenario. Somebody's got too much time on their hands if they're brewing like that. Well, we can't let this happen, can we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Should do it. We'll go like this. We're going to be at 4. That's going to suck. Bonk. He's going to get his dude back. We're going to get rid of a few things, though. Would make for a great show, the Feldon's Cane deck. That was our first episode. I could see myself in like 30 more years. I'll be streaming with like a white beard and calling myself a wizard, and I'll be using a real Feldon's Cane. I'll have somebody make it, maybe like Odin makes. They already made us some awesome propaganda stuff. If you're into props, go check out Odin Makes on YouTube. ODINMAKES. Amazingly successful, crazy cool dude. All right, this sucks. You know, you usually want to kill the Marauder, and I'm going to do it here too. You'd think, oh, play the Myr so that you can get your 3/3 out. We want them in the graveyard because we have 4 Unearths, and those happen a lot more than you think. I'm going to extend here with 2 of these guys and hope for the best. I've already seen a Rancor. What is this new devilry? Another pack beast or whatever that thing was? Deluxe's Cane. Tap, sacrifice, destroy, target jittering rats. Pauper Tim, thank you for the sub, my friend. Holy crap, 8 months. Woo! Oh boy. That's scary. Scarier. Is Black Sack gonna lose? This isn't supposed to happen. It's Halloween. Good for our opponent, though. Evasion, people. Whether it's in trample or whatnot. All right, so we can bring this out. Trip for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woohoo! The deck is better than you think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, cool. We'll do this. Bonk, bonk. And we'll get in a free attack, too. Attack! Yeah! We're going to be at 1 life, ladies and guys. Whoever says that. Cool. Oh, there's an extra, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6, right? I don't even have to point that at him, do I? Hold on. Am I getting a little reckless here? I guess we'll just be safe. I don't want to do maths. Let's hit. Crunch. 1, 2, 3. For the rats. For this. Done. Crunch-a-rooney. Shoot you in the face. And we're at 1. It'd be so cool if we drew one of our many draw spells. We have 11. We usually have 12, but we did side out the 4th Costly Plunder, which is a common move of mine, but I like Feldon's Cane turning into Deluxe's Cane. If I make another list with it, I'll have to check that out. I'm a little worried about Weather the Storm here, but I'd rather just get out some blockers and potential life eaters, meaning if I can just draw into like a Village Rites, what's the most probable here? I've already drawn 3 Deadly Disputes. I can't complain too much. We're at 1 life. I was afraid of that. Damn it. Good for them. If you saw that commercial, it's one of my favorites of propaganda lore. Weather the Storm. There's a floating... what was it? A Contract from Below, and I forget the other card when she's up in that house and the gravity's like defying and floating around and such. Pretty cool. Well, this was a game when he was at 5 life. He had like a 1 or 2 turn clock, but this is too much life for us to overcome. And they do have Rancor in their hands, so we're not going to be long for this world. Come on, Unearth or Flashback Marauder. Let's go. Come on. Hey. We can't even, we block here. The 2's going to get over the top of us here, so I might as well keep a little mysterious lore, making them think like, yeah, I got an option here. We've got an instant Flashback Marauder. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, Dreamer Stingo. Maybe one of these years. Again, if anybody can pull it off, it's probably Odin Makes. But I remember when he made the Bone Splitter, that was badass. Just this chopping stick. All right. Well, unfortunately, we go out with a loss here, but we showed off some pretty cool lists, I think. We saw quite a bit of Storm in my first build. Then we played some White Infect to great acclaim. Then we played some Infinite Gone combo, which was a lot of fun. And we ended it up with one of my favorite lists, but I won't lie. I think the last 4 times I've played this, I've lost with it. But, you know, that happens. Play something long enough and whatnot. So we'll go over the list here again, and we'll call it a day. Call it a holiday and that sort of thing. But, yeah, I've got to get some better flesh bags. You guys are right. That's unforgivable. And a little toxic waste monster there. So we played Black Sack, but it's probably one of my favorite decks in Pauper, despite the showing right there. SuperStorm is what started the show off. It's a pretty heady deck, so I don't like streaming it, but I did want to showcase it, and I'm glad it didn't lose for you guys. Not once. There's Feldon's Cane, but a lot of a toolbox effect here. A lot of stuff that's just there in theory. Mostly that Mesmeric Fiend and such, and Unearth. I did have 2 Unearths just as of last night even, and sometimes I would storm off and there wouldn't be a Blight-Priest in my graveyard, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to cycle it when your mana's this tight and such. But the Cane main with all this good stuff. We played a White Infect. And what was the other one we played? The Presence of Gond. So if you like any of these lists, or all of them, they're going to be in the description below here on YouTube in a few hours. Thankfully, all this crap with Twitch has resolved. For those of you that were hearing me complain about that and having to upload it and download like 8 gig files and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, guys, so another reminder, next week, no show. But after that, smooth sailing, we will be set. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately, we will not be here next week, November 5th. But after that, we will be back to the normal stuff, and hopefully it's nice and cold, and I've got cool Halloween stories to tell you about and more things to bitch about, probably Tron. But actually, no, I'm very thankful. Oh, hey, here comes that little segment. What did we learn? I almost forgot to do this. So what I learned, Metal Kirby 27, thank you for that. You made it for the end of the show. Yeah, we played 4 decks today. 3, but yeah, we played one of my favorites, a little thing I threw together called SuperStorm, which was a lot of fun. But what did I learn? I learned that I want to have that 4th Angelic Renewal in my White Infect list, because I always like seeing it. It's just a very good card. Anybody else learn anything? I'm not sure. Feel free to mention it in the chat. I'll rewatch on YouTube. Thank you for that. Yeah, so we've got all kinds of stuff, lots of lists, lots of goodies. Again, apologies, no show next week. After that, though, smooth sailing, blah, blah, blah. I'll be online all day long, all night, and all day tomorrow, goofing off, because I've got a crazy, crazy amount of work to do this next week, and I will be sweating at the editing gills. Doesn't even make sense, but hey, what are you going to do? So, that being said, guys, I'm going to go out with a cool little pumpkin thing and a few other holiday shenanigans, and I'll hopefully see many of you online. Until then, thanks for joining me. Please spread the word, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let somebody know that likes Pauper. Hey, you might want to check out this old bald guy. He's got a few tricks. So, ooh, Familiar allows Apostle's Blessing to be played for free. Oh, can you email that to me, Pauper Tim? Because I will forget. I've got a lot of things on my plate. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Have an awesome Halloween until this time next year for the Halloween show. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Adios.
Attention Propaganda Knights, show your love of all things Papa with our Ultra Deluxe playmats. And true to our Papa roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
Trying to give these guys everything they can get. I mean, that's it.
Just send an email to propaganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free.
I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit. this morning.
Just visit yourplaymat.com. Custom sleeves available too. Use code PROPAGANDA10YP.